Gary McNeil, Zeke Caldwell, Darby Calhoun bringing you the London Red Rotor game. We're coming off of a fine win against Olentangy last week, and Zeke, what do you think we can expect out of this team tonight?
I'll tell you what, I don't know what Bexley has, but I look for London to practice some things that they didn't get to practice last week. I think they'll come out maybe trying to pass the ball a little bit more, get some of that done. That's about all.
And Darby, what's your comment?
I have to agree with Zeke. They're going to just polish up what they do best and throw the football and polish up some things that they need to work on.
This London team is coming in with a 6-0 record, and I believe Bexley's won, I think, one game, right? So, like I say, you never go on a record. So let's get to the game, and we'll check it out. What do you think, guys?
Sounds good.
Go London.
Go London.
For London,
Hold this.
Are we standing up?
Well, we are now. Let me get this out of here. Unless you don't want to.
As long as we're not in anybody's way, I guess we're all right to stand up.
I'll get back here. You guys more or less, I'll just fill in. I think London's going to kick off starting this game, aren't they, Zeke, from the looks of the way things is?
Yeah, I think London won the toss and deferred to kick this half.
I see London's got a player this week. Finally got his dues. Harris got picked player of the week in the dispatch this week. So, and also I see where London is #1 in their division in the computer rankings. What do you think of Arnton, man? Arnton's #1 in theirs too, aren't they?
You know,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really are they?
they're in Division 4, but they're #1 in their poll.
I know they lost
division
this year.
Oh, okay.
They've lost one.
feedback for Bexley, Parker, and Stanley.
yeah, Harris truly deserves to get the accolades that he's getting this year. He is having a tremendous season, and I don't see any reason why he just shouldn't keep right on going right through it.
See, Bexley's coming in here at 1-5. So, like I say, a lot of times them 1 and 5s are fool you, depending on who they've been playing to get that 1 and 5.
Hey, we got Tobin ready to kick. Got the clock set. They're letting him kick deep tonight. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good.
About the 2.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they feel like trouble already. And is Tobin going to make the saving play?
Yeah.
Tobin, the
Nice
kicker,
play
makes
by
the saving
Tobin.
tackle. So there's a high spot for Bexley starting out.
Yeah, that was a great run back. London wasn't filling the lanes over on the right side of the field. They had the lanes filled real well on the left side of the field. And Tobin did what he was supposed to do. That's why Tobin stayed back, was to make that touchdown-saving tackle there. All right, Darby, let's get the defensive lineup out here.
At ends, we have 21, Brad Seal. At number 81, we have Drew Dwyer. At the tackles, 59, Ron Myers. And 76, Shad Good. I'll give you the rest here in a minute there.
And Bexley's got a man in motion here with a white out this side. They're going to try to pass the ball right away. No going. Nice sack by 35, Ty Dowler. Tremendous job.
London by Ty Dowler.
Let me give you the rest of that lineup here, Zeke. At linebackers, we have 20, Brent North. At number 35, Ty Dowler.
Good.
At number 46, Pete Robinson. At number 50, Sean Noble. Jason Noble. I did it again. Looking right at it. The backs, number 14, Sean Kahn. Number 32, Mike Harris. Number 25, Nathan Dorn.
Well, they got a man in motion. They're going to run a little crossback back the other direction. That was a nice pickup over there.
Makes it 3rd and 12. Go ahead.
And we can't forget number 51, Dusty Hubbard.
You had
plays a lot on that defense.
Robinson and Noble in on that tackle that time. Pete Robinson.
see what they do.
That's a big third down play, Gary.
Might make a note that DJ Jackson is eligible to play tonight. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to come out of about 6, 8, 10 weeks of practice before he's finally going to be eligible to play.
What number is DJ? Do we have that
34,
on the...
I believe.
I believe he's in there.
Spin out again.
He is. Gary, they got him playing a down lineman spot.
Where's he at?
On the tackle for London.
Over there, right beside Dowler right now.
I believe he is in there. Down
Jackson's in there playing. He was playing a down lineman spot. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 8. And I'm sure Bexley's going to go for it. I wouldn't see any reason unless they had a field goal kicker not to go for it.
Field goal.
Hey, you got Jackson playing a down lineman on defense, number 34. He's playing the left defensive tackle spot. You know, last week they brought Roger Clerk in there to get a little speed in there.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
That kicks
I'll tell
up.
you what, that kick could be good.
Little wide to the right.
Looked like it might have had distance from here, but I really can't
I'll tell you what, that was about a 42-yard attempt there by the Bexley kicker. He had a pretty nice foot in there.
You know what DJ's in there, man.
You know, they're cooking out these hamburgers down there, Gary.
I'll tell you what, they're smoking up the field. We might have a smoky tape here today.
That's one way to keep us guys on our toes, smelling that.
Yeah, I went down there thinking it was brats, and it was hamburger. Oh, well.
And London's coming out in that I backfield this week with a double wide out to the right, and they got Jackson in a wide out spot over there, and they throw to incomplete pass attempt to Jackson.
You know, it's gonna take him a few passes and a few runs to really get the feel back again. He hasn't played for a while.
Yeah, and game situation and practice is entirely different situation. So get the kinks out.
And he might have a little bit of the jitters right now, too.
You know, that's it. That's it. He's out here. He's been out 6 games. He's coming back, and he wants to show the people that he's still capable of doing a good job. And he just, you know, is overreacting. That was Mike Harris for a gain of about 2 yards. We'll get Darby to give you the offensive line up here.
Roberts and Piper on the stop for Bexley.
I think you can hear the loudspeaker real well, so I'm sorry, Darby, you'll be able to pick up some of the tackles and plays through them, too. You go for it, Darby.
Go ahead.
London's coming out with a wide out to the right and wide out to the left in that I formation. Let's see if they try that little pass to the tight end here. No, they got, had a cross by Dwyer come straight across the field. Kahn just overthrew him. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 8.
Defending on the pass play, Pat Knowles from Bexley.
You know, Dwyer's leading Central Ohio in punting, averaging 46 yards a kick. And last week, I think he kicked the ball maybe 3 or 4 times, and he really didn't get to put his foot into it. He was trying to keep that ball away from Olin Tangi's return man. Let's see if he really boots this one. They got a rush on.
That's a good punt, though.
He got it off.
A little low.
Roger, nice tackle. Mike Harris, Mr. Do-All, down there on the tackle.
That Mike is a completely different person. It seems like he's really grown up in the football game this year. He's a completely different person out from last year.
You know, I think Mike gains more confidence each week because he finds out each week that the people of London are backing him. You know, he truly is a delight to watch him run the football. But you got to give credit where credit is due, and he's got probably the biggest offensive line in Central Ohio.
Very true.
Bexley's coming out in that split backfield with a wide out to the left and a motion going left, and cross buck back to the middle, fullback up the middle.
And what do you got to say about going up the middle there, Darb?
Blow the whistle, asshole!
Well, we got a tackle by Noble, Hubbard, Dowler, and Robinson, and a bevy of other London tacklers in there. Now, if you're hearing some words that we don't usually use, we're sitting on the Bexley sideline, and their tone of language over here is a little worse than I thought.
Oh, really? What TV?
Yeah, we are.
We got a wide out to the left We got 14 on 14. Kahn split out wide, covering that guy.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Got Harris on the motion back. They're cutting cross buck back here. He had a tackle by Dorn. And 76, Chad Good and Jason Noble.
I had a little talk with the dirty mouth man back there, and he said he'd take care of it.
Thank you, Gary.
Save me from doing a lot of editing. And Darby, if I cut in, just keep on talking, just talk over me.
You're right, Gary. We're not used to having you right here talking with us. It's a delight to have you.
Go ahead and talk.
Going to bring up third down, about 5. London's not doing anything any different on defense than they have in weeks past. They're running a 6-man line with 3 linebackers in there, and you really can't tell who's playing linebackers. That's a nice run. That gives them a first down. The quarterback keeper rolled to the left, brought down by number 21. Brad Teal on the tackle.
Ball's on the London 40.
You got Jackson coming back in. Let's see who heads out. Taking out number 59.
That's Myers.
Myers is going out. You know, he's given up probably 70 pounds when he takes Myers out and puts Jackson in there at middle guard, but he's probably gaining a step there in speed. They're going to keep trying that counter stuff. That was a nice tackle.
Who made that tackle?
Chad Good was in there.
Number 50.
Noble was underneath there. He took the load of it.
Strong Beer Warrior 3.
Yeah, that's Jason Noble, number 50.
Okay.
Got a beautiful night once again for high school football. Last year we never had a bad night at all for the whole season.
And this is great, beautiful weather. This is a beautiful place to play football.
It really is. Beautiful track.
Yeah, they're going to move that ball to the left. They keep trying that middle. You know, I don't know. You know, other teams have had success running against London off the tackles. Really up the middle, with the linebackers London has, and with the emergence of Dusty Hubbard in there in the middle, most teams don't get that much yardage up the middle. It's usually off the tackles where these teams have been gaining most of their yardage.
Now, I was telling Dusty when he was younger, he always had an excuse why he wasn't going to play in the past years, so now he's playing real good. He said, he told his dad, ask Gary what he thinks of me now. Do you still think I'm a wimp? No, Dusty, you're playing good ball, man.
Yeah, Dusty,
proud of you.
You're really doing good in there. And they're running that fullback up the middle again. Had a nice one-man tackle in there, Noble.
I tell you what, this Roberts is not that small of a running back or whatever, fullback or running back, whichever he is.
He's their fullback, number 33.
Is he about 6'2", looks like about 220?
I imagine he does go about 220.
And DJ, being as small as he is causing some confusion in there with his speed. I think he had a hold of that running back before Noble popped him.
Brings up 4th down and 3. Let's see. You know, I look for him to try a little roll out this time instead of run that guy up the middle. They got motion back here to right. Yep, fullback up the middle.
And he's going to get it.
I don't know. It's according if they mark his knee down or the ball down.
You know, it looked like Myers had him in the backfield.
First down. First down.
Stanley.
You know, the thing of it is, with having a 1-5 record, it wouldn't make any sense for Bexley to punt the football on a 4th and 1 on London's 42-yard line.
We've said many of times that you know, a team like this is really hard to play because they really have nothing to lose.
Right. I tell you, tackle by Dwyer. You know, they're going to keep running that ball in the middle. That's not going to get them anywhere.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm looking for is a wide out pass here in just a minute, about another minute or so.
Fake that buck up.
That's what I'm looking for.
If you're going to win a ball game on London, you got to be able to move the ball around. You keep trying to stick it up in the middle, as we seen last week. Yeah, they were successful for the first half, moving it up in the middle. London come out the second half and shut that middle completely down. That's just nowhere to go.
Well, it's obvious that Bexley had paid attention to the films, and they think they can run the football. But there's that pass, Gary. Good call, Gary, because they faked that buck up the middle.
Yeah.
You know, Con had him one-on-one out there, though. If that ball would have been a little bit less thrown so hard, Sean would have had his 5th interception of the year. You know,
I like that terminology, a little bit less thrown so hard. That was good. I love it.
It was turning in my mind, fellas, what I was trying to get out, and that was the only thing I could come up with. You know, Sean moved up in the interception category this week. He had 1 pick last week. You know, if you look in the Central Ohio statistics, London's got quite a few boys in there.
Yeah, they do.
It's a halfback pass,
and it should be a pickoff.
Oh. You know, that went right through the receiver's hands, into Con's hands, and into another receiver's hands.
I tell you, you mentioned Sean, a lot of the interceptions he's had this year. By the way, Sean holds, from what I understand, holds the new record that Dick LeBeau held for all those years. He holds a new
London High School
interception record, yeah.
Well, you know, it's so funny, Gary, because I can remember when I played and in years past, and I never even remembered them keeping records.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's so funny. Now you hear, well, he broke that record, he broke this record, and you don't really know if they are records.
If you want a record in football, back and when you played and before then and stuff like that, just get a hold of Coach Bowles. He's got everything. He'll tell you exactly what the game was, who played, who scored, and
you know,
yardage and everything.
It's when I was a junior, we had a tailback by the name of Marty Porter. I do know he scored 22 touchdowns his senior year. Hey, we got a double wide out to the left. You got Harris and Con split out on those 2 guys, and they're running that fullback up the middle.
That's their bread and butter.
That's going to bring up 4th down and about 20. I don't look for him to go for it this time. I look for a punt.
You know, Zeke, we only got 2 minutes and about 38 seconds left in this first quarter here, and London's only touched the ball maybe, what, a minute of that?
Well, they had the ball 3 downs and a punt, so this is really going to be their chance here. You know, Darby, we was talking a little earlier about what we thought DJ ought to be doing, and we thought he ought to be back catching punts. Well, guess who's back catching punts?
Put the speedster in.
That's quite a punt.
Nice catch. Nice catch.
Good job.
He caught that ball on about the 10-yard line, returned it to about the 15.
You know, they really need the speedster back there. They need to start churning a little bit on their special teams. London's special teams, excluding field goals and extra points, are kind of weak when it comes to their special teams. And they need that speedster back there to turn some of that special teams into a plus for them.
Okay.
And once again, like you say, this is his first time out, you know, in ball game situations, so he can only get better.
It's nice to see the young boy out there playing.
What's nice, Zeke, is there's an awful lot of hype. It was in the front page of the paper tonight. A lot of hype about people thinking that TJ shouldn't be out there or shouldn't be eligible. And I'm so glad that somebody stepped up and realized this is a 16-year-old kid and he made a mistake. But let's not kill him. Let's give him a chance. And maybe, hopefully, this might be the beginning of a new era for DJ. Someday you might read about him come back and do something great for London.
Gary, I've known DJ ever since he was young, and I know his parents and everything, and I know he's a fine kid, and I know that he appreciates this second chance, and I know he's going to take advantage of it. We got a bomb. We got Dwyer wide open.
Ooh, right through his hands, looked like.
Just off the fingertips.
Sean threw that thing about 45, 50 yards in the air. You know, that ball was there.
It couldn't have been thrown much better.
Zeke, let me go ahead and give you that offense now so that I'm missing the last set of downs. We got the center, number 59, Myers. The left guard, number 74, Rutherford. Number 54, the right guard, Fincham. The right tackle, number 76, Good. The left tackle, number 72, Maxwell, and I'll give you the rest here in a minute.
Okay, we got a wide out here to the left. Harris up the middle. He didn't get the first down. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2, the way it looks from here, or 1, excuse me. Go ahead, Darby. Let's get the rest of that lineup
out. Tight end, number 81, Drew Dwyer. Number 50, Noble, plays the other tight end when they bring him in. Quarterback, Sean Kahn. The fullback, Brad Teal, number 21. And the halfback, Mike Harris, number 32. Wide receivers, Alexander and Robinson.
Okay, you got Harris off the right side. First down. Gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
You see, that's just like we said before. I heard you guys say it before. That's what you got to do. You got a good running back like that. You got to wear him out. The more he runs, the better he gets, and eventually he's going to break one.
You know, Mike had 39 carries last week, but it still doesn't make him top in the area in carries. The kid from Reynoldsburg that's behind him's got more carries, but less yards. Hey, we got Alexander split wide to the left and tight end package on the right. We got a handback trap.
Good job, good job.
See if I can get this number. Jackson on a handback trap. Yeah, that's another thing we've been talking about is putting Harris and Jackson in the backfield at the same time. You know, it looks like the coach might have sent us guys a letter or something this week telling us what he was going to do. Because we're seeing a lot of things that we've been talking about already tonight.
Well, he definitely adds another gun to their.
You got Jackson split out wide that way, and Tyler Hamlin split this way.
Here comes Harris.
And Harris. He's got one guy to beat. He's still on his feet. He's staying in bounds. Nice run.
Stay with you, man.
That was about a 27-yard run there by Mike Harris.
The more he's got the ball in his hands, the more threat we are to scoring. There's no doubt about that at all.
Again, like I've said over and over again, you're not going to stop Mike Harris. You just have to slow him down. Bexley so far has done that. They've slowed him down. You're not going to stop Mike Harris.
Darby, you know what it is. They don't have enough guns to stop him. They don't have enough guys to stop him. There's a rollout by Kahn. I hope he just takes off with it.
All right. And the receiver looked like he stopped running.
You know, I think Sean would have been better for him to keep that ball and take it himself. I think he had the whole sidelines open there. We got the end of the first quarter, and we have a 0-0 score here. Okay, now we switched into the fields here. London's got a second down and 10. You got wide out to the left and straight eye backfield with Teal and Harris. You got Teal up the middle. There goes Teal. They're not going to catch him. They're not going to catch him. There he goes. Brad Teal with a 47-yard touchdown.
Zeke, we said it again, we'll say it again, we'll say it all year long. They keep forgetting Brad Teal. You forget Brad Teal, and he's going to hurt you.
One thing, Darby, the coach of Olentangy, when he came in last week, he was full aware of Teal and our two wideouts and Dwyer. He made mention of all that. See, that's one thing London has. London has an arsenal this year. They've got guys that can do it anywhere. All right, we got Clark Tobin on to attempt the point after. It's up. It's good. That looked like a knuckleball there, Gary.
I think the ball's over on Broad Street, Zeke.
I'll tell you what.
We got a score of 7-0 going into this first play of the second quarter. And London rips off a long run by Brad Teal.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm glad to see Teal get that run.
8 seconds, Gary, is what's off that clock.
And Zeke, that's Tobin's 11th in a row, and that's, again, extra points and field goals in a row without a miss.
Well, you know, Clark is number 2 in Central Ohio in kick scoring, and I can't remember right offhand what he's carrying, but it was like 37 points total.
30, I think it's 33 or 34.
I thought maybe he might end up in the draft, you know, because he's only a junior. But I guess 34. That's for the pros, isn't it?
34 points.
You know, one thing about it, Gary, is we know that we can't lose him to the pros. We're going to have him back next year.
Oh, sure, that's what I'm thinking.
At the rate, and the course he's going right now, he'll be a Division I kicker somewhere when he comes out of high school.
We get to see him kick deep. You know,
they might change their mind after that last run back.
We were complaining last week about him not kicking deep, and this week they kick deep, and the guy returned it 70 yards. So we'll get to see what happens now. I hope that we get to see him kick it deep again. The kid has a fine toe.
Well, let's block now. Let's go.
Yeah, he's going to take that deep. You got number 19 for Bexley taking it on this right side. Fumble. London's got the football. The ball's out in the middle of the field. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. You know, you had the ball carrier out of bounds and the ball out in the middle of the field, but it looks like they're going to give it back to Bexley.
I thought I heard him say Harris made that tackle. I don't see Harris going off the field.
Well, usually Mike's in there on all those special teams. That's one thing about Coach Dobmeyer. If he's got special players, he's leaving them in there this year.
He keeps them special.
Well, you know, let's see if they continue in trying to put that ball up the middle. Well, we got motion coming left. Got Dwyer up in the slot. Quick pitch out here to the right. That's a fine play. That gained about 7 yards. That was a fine play.
And that was a perfectly wrong call for that play.
That's number 46 in on that tackle.
That was Robinson, and Brad Teal was in on that one.
Jason Noble on that tackle.
Pete Robinson, Noble, and Teal. You know, they're moving Dwyer around more or less like he's a linebacker. They're bringing him in the middle. They're bringing him out on the ends. Anyway, I think London's running about 4 or 5 linebackers. You really don't know who's playing what out there as far as the defensive backs. I know Mike's staying with the motion man. They tried that quick pitch again, and London didn't fall for it that time.
Drew Dwyer made a beautiful play right there. He kind of pinched in when they flipped it. He rolled around the defensive end there and made a beautiful tackle.
Yeah, he turned that in a little bit, and Noble and Dwyer and Teal. You know, Teal and Noble and Dwyer's been in on quite a few of these plays here.
You made mention that there wasn't anybody here before the game started. We're crammed in here now.
Right.
It actually does have a big following for a record like they've got.
Well, they keep running that motion stuff. They're going to cross Buck back to the fullback.
He's a low.
I tell you, that was a gain of about 8 yards, brings up first down.
Number 4.
That was a good tackle by Alexander.
You know, though, Gary, when your backs are making tackles, it's not good. You want your linebackers and your linemen to be making your tackles.
I like the way Alexander stepped up, because that could have been a situation there. You see a freight train like that coming at you.
Well, I'll tell you, you got a guy there
that's
probably 30, 40 more pounds than Alexander, and Jared made a fine stop. That's one thing we've been talking about, Gary, though. London doesn't have a whole bunch of individuals. They have a team. They have a whole team.
That's for sure.
They got Noble back there. Looks like he's playing defensive back. I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't give that ball back to this kid off the other side. There he goes. You know, that number 30 there for Bexley's a pretty elusive kid.
Yeah, long legs. I saw him catch a pitch out a while ago in the backfield with one hand. I don't know if that's advisable, but he did catch the pitch out with one hand.
You know, they're going to bring up 2nd down and 5. London's going to have to stop some of this razzle-dazzle because they're moving it right down the field. Bexley got a wide out here to the left, and that back over to the left. He's going to go motion the other direction this time. He's going to pass. He's back to pass. Straight down the middle. That ball was just overthrown by about a yard there.
And I'll tell you what, he had a day and a half to make that throw. There was nobody anywhere near the quarterback when he released that ball.
Well, you know,
he had a pocket and a half.
All that motion and all those quick handoffs there set up that pass play, because the linebackers and the line have to stay there and see if they're running the ball or passing the ball. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5, so you might see that crossbuck back through the middle or a little pass here. I believe if they bring that motion guy this direction, they're going to run the ball again.
Right.
Now they got him going the other way this time. They got the fullback up the middle. He stopped dead.
With half a gaggle, wasn't it?
And you got Noble and Hubbard and Brad Teal in on that stop. And that Noble made a fill into that hole like a linebacker's supposed to. Now we're going to see Bexley kick the ball again. We got Jackson dropping back deep with number 5, Sexton, I believe, number 5.
Deep back for London, DJ Jackson, Stanley to punt.
I hope London keeps an eye out for a little fake this time. I'll tell you what, I think they were watching for the fake.
We'll see.
Jackson, fumble.
We got the ball, baby.
We had a fumble by Jackson. Recovered by Bexley on the 4-yard line.
And that was in my mind all the time that ball was in the air. Something was telling me that he was going to fumble that ball. The back was bearing down on him. Defensive man was bearing down on him. I think he seen him but didn't really see the ball.
I think he seen that guy coming in and was deciding where he was going to run with the football instead of catching it first. He probably took his eye off for just a split second. That's all it takes for that ball to slide through your fingers.
Hey, you got Bexley taking over the ball on London's 5-yard line. They can't get a first down. They got motion to the left. They're going to run that ball back across the right. Looks like he took it down to about the 1-yard line. Stanley in on that tackle, getting up awful slow. We got Pete Robinson in on that stop, and Jason Noble. The other thing of it is, we've seen it time and time again that London's mistakes usually comes back to haunt them.
Let's go, no penalties now. Let's run it in.
The ball on the 1-yard line, got motion to the left. I look for that big fullback to handle. Nope, we're going to give it to 30 outside. Touchdown, Bexley.
And you can tell by the sound of the crowd what side of the field we're on. Got a score of 7-6 right now, 4 extra points attempted.
You know, Zeke, we've seen this years and years again, that London lets the team hang in there. You can't let a team like Bexley hang in there. They're 1-5. They have nothing to lose right now. If you make them think that they can stick with you, it's going to be hard to get them off your back all game.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, a lot of times we sit around here and we second guess things. But, you know, the more I watch games, the more I think that these coaches know what they're doing.
And that ball was shanked off to the left, so the score remains 7-6.
Yeah, you know, and that's another thing we talked about last week. Same thing, Olentangy come out and put 6 on the board, and they couldn't make that extra point. You know, London's here right now with a 7-6 lead. That extra point kills you. If you can't make your extra points, that kills you. You know, we sat there talking last week about having Tobin kick the ball deep. Tonight we saw him kick it deep, and they run it back on us. So, you know, we're second-guessing the coaching staff, and maybe we shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I think a lot of times when we do that, Zeke, we're kind of being a little biased because I don't know about you, but I like to see Tobin kick deep. I like to see him do this and that. What the coaches are thinking is, how can we win this football game? And they do things to win the football game. We just want to see a good play. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you know, we saw last week nobody back on the punt. We saw somebody back this week on the punt, and we saw a fumble. Yeah. So, you know, we'll just leave that coaching to you, Coach. You got Harris and Roger Clerk back deep for London.
I'd like to see Clerk get his hands on it once.
Yeah, Roger's a little exciting back there.
Good kicker. Gary, they got a good kicker, too.
Gary, you're going to get your wish here.
And he's cooking.
We got a wedge up the middle.
Yeah, baby! He's not big enough to get away from anybody, but they snatched him like a little chicken and just threw him to the ground.
He returns that ball from about the 2-yard line to the 17-yard line. We get to see London go on offense with 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
I feel rain.
Well, it does look like it's clouding up around here. All right, now we get to see London's composure here with their backs up against the goal line here.
You know, we've seen last week that London was physically ready for the playoffs. This is to see if they're emotionally ready for the playoffs. They come in, this game's not really that much for them, but they got to keep their heads.
Good
We got Teal up the middle for a gain of about 2 yards. Linebacker number 50 for Bexley sniffed that out real quick. He filled that hole.
But again, like I was saying, a good team is not going to break down mentally when they're playing a 1-5 team. They got to come back out. They got to get their things going and stop making mistakes.
When you've got an offense like London has, they can score anytime they want to. You got some type of penalty here.
Flag on the play.
I believe we have one of the Bexley players lined up in the neutral zone. Yeah, they called encroachment.
Call against Bexley.
You know, they used to call that lining up in the neutral zone there, Darby, but they've last couple of years they've changed that to encroachment.
Why is that there, Zeke? I never could understand that.
Well, every year I think they got to change things around to confuse the fans, so they really don't know what's going on. You got Harris back there at tailback, Harris off the left side.
Good job,
You know,
good job.
I believe he might have the first down, or it's going to be awful close. You know, the thing of it is about Mike is, in the first half, they seem to stop Mike to a certain extent, but he'll bust you a 30 or 40 yarder and make it look awful easy. But Bexley made a fine stop in the middle that time. He did get enough for the first down.
London's offensive line is just almost like their defense. It takes them a half to adjust. And they come back out in the second half, and they blow holes big enough to run Matt Trucks through.
Well, we got Jackson in the backfield as a slot man. We got motion there. We got a hand-back trap to Jackson off the left side. He's not down yet. Looks like a gain of about 2 yards. It looked like it took about 4 or 5 of Bexley's defenders to bring him down. You know, that just brings another dimension of speed to London's backfield with Jackson in there. You know, and I hope that the people realize that the boy does have the speed to break these long touchdowns if we need him. Okay, we got White out over here to the right is Alexander, and Tyler Hamilton to the left. I formation with Teal and Harris. We got a slant pass broken up by number 12 for Bexley. They read that real well.
Sean Kahn really trying to squeeze that one right in between the two defenders.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. I think, you know, we talked earlier about seeing London coming out and throw some passes, and they're trying to throw some tonight. This is just some of the things they need to work on is their passing game. You got the I formation, Harris deep in the backfield. You got a screen pass to Harris out to the left side. He's got the first down and out of bounds. No, excuse me, that was Drew Dwyer, screen pass to Drew Dwyer.
He was awful tall to be Mike Harris. I was having
well, you know, it looked like Harris was out there from the beginning. Yeah, I think they had such a big rush on that time, Gary, that Sean had to wait a good little while to get that ball out there.
Yeah, they had a heck of a rush on him.
Ball's on the 40.
You got Alexander wide to the right and Tyler Hamilton in a slot formation, I formation backfield. Straight handoff to Harris off the right side.
Harris, the ball carrier.
A nice tackleable number 90 there, got him by the leg, or Mike would have broke that big. That was a gain of about 5 yards. Well, we saw Mike last week on some of his runs just keep his legs moving and pick up some good 7 and 8 yards.
He was about to do that then, and they got a hold of that one leg and wouldn't let it go. And he was working on moving them legs like that.
Mike was averaging, what, about 3 yards per carry after contact?
Hey, I'll tell you what, he's got a big one here on the right side. We got a holding penalty on London in the backfield.
He puts his head down, just runs over. Bring it back! Bring it back! Just ran over Reed out here. We got, like I say, we got a penalty here.
We got a hold on London. That was a pickup of about 25 yards that time, but it's going to go back. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 20. You know, I only noticed Khan back here, and one of the linemen was dropped back a little bit, so it had to be called on the lineman.
Let's go defense! Come on, MD! Keep working out there!
And it sets us back to about the 35-yard line.
Right, it's going to bring up
2nd and 15.
2nd and 15. You know, London don't need to do anything fancy.
Come on, defense!
They've got 2 downs to get this first down.
Got a double wide out to the right and a single to the left.
Hey, they got Dwyer split out wide. Quarterback keep. A draw play on the quarterback.
And he gets back about 10 or 12 of those yards.
That was a great call right there. I think everybody faked out, including us on that one.
You know, Sean has been running the ball exceptionally well this year. That's just another little added thing that he can do for you. Quarterback draw. Yeah, he has a pretty decent speed for a quarterback also.
Is he able to check off plays in the game and call his own plays?
I don't know if Coach Dahlmeyer has allowed him that luxury yet. Harris off the right side.
And he picks up the first down.
A gain of about 5 yards. You know, London's moving that ball real slow right now, but they're moving on the ground and they're picking up first downs. You got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
We're getting as many Red Raiders over here as we got on the other side.
Well, you know, they're pretty filled up over there on that side of the field.
I'll tell you what, there are seats over here on the Bexley side if London needs any. He's throwing that out to Dwyer.
And Zeke walks away saying, it should have been caught, it should have been caught.
Zeke, that ball was just a little underthrown that time, but he still should have had the football.
It looked like it was catchable.
You know, I can't talk, but I'll tell you, any coach will tell you that if you touch the ball, you're supposed to catch it.
Well, he's not a Zollett. We saw Zola make that one-hand catch the other last week.
Well, he's not an Andre Rison either, because Rison don't catch many either. Got a hand back to Jackson to the right. He cuts it back in the middle.
Good job, guys!
Had a gain of about 3 yards there. Jackson got kind of hit real hard from the back that time.
He's a pretty solid kid. I think it's time for Teal to run a touchdown. What do you think?
One good thing I liked about that play is DJ, we said last year in that playoff game, it seemed like he really wasn't catching the holes and cutting on them as fast as he should. This year he cut pretty good into that hole.
Well, these are new plays that they've put in to utilize his speed. Alexander made a nice catch out here about at the 50-yard line. 45 yards, excuse me. That's going to bring up, it looks like it's going to bring up about 4th down and 1. Now they're going to measure.
Official timeout for measurement.
Yeah, we're sitting on the opposite side of the field of the stick, so we're having trouble actually picking up the down markers.
And right now we can't see the ball. Blocked off from the ball players. Tell you what, this Bexley team is coming out. This first half is an indication of how they're going to play the second half. We got our hands full.
Well, you know, it's the same thing. When London plays, every team just comes out and wants to try to knock them off. And Bexley coming out here 1-5. Bexley always has had a nice tradition of being winning teams. You know, Bexley used to be in the mid-8 league back in the late 60s and early 70s. So London's pretty familiar with Bexley.
As we pick up the first down, the chain gang goes back, sets up, and it's 1st and 10 on about what? 40, 38-yard line, 39.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got fans up here saying watch the tailback.
London comes out in that pro eye.
Everybody knows to watch London's tailback. Harris off the left
They didn't watch
side.
him close enough, but there he goes.
A little stiff arm to the left.
Go down. He's going to go all the way.
Touchdown. We had a nice block. Nice block.
That was Drew Dwyer.
Drew Dwyer put a nice block out there to get the last man out of his way.
He actually looked like he was setting up a wall there. He kind of turned and faced everybody else and let Harris run right behind him.
You know, the first man Mike went over to was Dwyer and shook his hand and gave him a big hug. He saw that block. That was 38 yards of just a simple cut back to the left, and I got you.
Let the speed turn on and took over.
You got Clark Tobin back to try the extra point. This one is pretty. This was a pretty kick.
Is that 12? As our distant assistant statistician gives the number, how many's he got, Darby?
12 in a row now.
All right.
I tell you, as London's offense goes, Tobin goes, because Tobin gets to kick every time somebody makes a
That's
touchdown.
right.
Tobin gets to pad his score.
His score just rises right to the top. How much time, Carl?
You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter. London is ahead 14-6.
So Zeke, you're Bexley. What do you do now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock here?
Well, we've seen these teams in the past few weeks get the ball back with 2 minutes left to go, 2 minutes 30 seconds left to go in the first half, and not try to utilize that 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They want to try to run the clock out. When you're down 14-6, that's not a big lead. That's one score. They need to come out with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the half and try to pass that ball. They got to get the ball down the field for a score.
Well, you definitely need to have some kind of 2-minute game here where they're coming up to the line quick, they're snapping the ball, and they're throwing the football.
We've seen like Jonathan Alder, and we've seen Olentangy last week, come out and try to sit on the football right before halftime, which makes me think that you don't want to try to win if you're going to sit on the ball with time on the clock.
I'd like to see a squib kick. I know y'all don't want one.
Right up the middle.
On the ground.
I don't have anything wrong with it, Gary, if it's like that.
Good job, good job.
I'll tell you what, they got the ball on the 25-yard line. That's not getting the ball on the 45 or the 50. If you're going to kick that ball in the middle, in between the front line and the back line, that's fine.
Either that or we need to set up some kind of kick like Olentangy did last week. Well, it was a high, but it was a very short ball. You didn't get your D-backs.
I really believe that was an onside kick, Darby.
Well, it was nice.
Yeah,
it was high, and it gave them some time to get down on the field.
It's almost like a lob pass, and it's anybody's ball when you get there.
Okay, we'll see what Bexley comes out. You got a wide out to the left. Con's on him one-on-one. They got that number 90 in motion. They got a quarterback keep. Roll out here to the right. He's open. He's open.
He could go.
Oh, good tackle by Robinson.
Pete Robinson just caught up with probably Bexley's fastest man and made a nice grab of material tackle. That was a fine tackle.
This Pete's quite an athlete, and he don't give up. I watched him in basketball too, and I tell you, he don't give up.
We do the same thing.
I'll tell you, Pete is putting a lot of heart into this game too. Pete's not a very big linebacker, but he's putting a lot of heart into it. Got a wide out to the right, motion to the right. They're going to run that fullback up the middle. With a minute 58 left to go there in the half, and the ball's down on the 28-yard line, you got plenty of time to score.
Good on the stop for London.
It's Shad Good, wasn't it? Shad Good's been on quite a few stops tonight. He's doing real good.
They're bringing Teal out and putting Jackson in.
Illegal motion call against Bexley.
Well, there you go. That's one thing you can't have, Darby, if you're trying to score against London. You can't have mistakes.
I think that's the first time I've actually seen Teal go off the side to the sideline on the defense.
Well, I think looks like Emmons and him's having a little conversation over there. So he's probably just giving him a few pointers.
First and 15.
You got to remember that most of these kids have played together ever since about 6th, 7th grade, and probably some of them together in the league that you coach in, Zeke. So they know one another. They know football.
I see a lot of guys out there used to beat me, Gary, in Little League football.
Oh, isn't that par for the course?
You got White out to the right, and Harris is on him one-on-one. The motion back coming around.
Uh-oh. They got trouble.
30. I'll tell you what. Fumble. Noble recovers the ball on about their own, London's own 5-yard line.
5.
Fumble recovery by Bob of London.
Excuse me, that was Nathan Dorn on that recovery.
You know, somebody caught up with him and popped him from behind.
the back.
Probably George the ball. Did you see who that was?
I think it was Dwyer that made that catch, that catch on that guy, but I'm not going to hold that true because you had Mike Harris coming back on that side also. Well, let's see what London does here. I look for him just to give that ball off here. And we got another lined up in the neutral zone, I believe. Yep. Encroachment, Bexley.
And Lennon took over the ball on about the 20-yard line there, 21, 22-yard line.
You know, Gary, they got plenty of time to score another touchdown.
We're looking at 1 minute and 16 seconds, and it's 14-6 London.
It took Teal 8 seconds to score a touchdown a little while ago.
He was scooting, wasn't he?
It took Mr. Harris about 4 seconds to run that 38-yarder. That was a mouthpiece call, is what they called on that one.
This gives us a little better field position.
Harris off the left side. Right. He made a little juke to the left, a little juke back to the right, and picked up a good 8 yards.
You know what amazes me? I can't remember seeing Harris fumble yet this year.
Well, you know, he dropped that one down on the 1-yard line last week.
Okay.
Gary?
That cost us.
Right. That was another one of those mistakes we keep talking about. Well, that moves the chains. It's going to bring up 1st down and 10.
You carry the ball many times. He carries the ball. What can you say?
Well, you know, the thing of it is, I don't know how many carries he has. We'd have to look that up in the statistics, but you're right, Gary. If you're packing that ball 39 times a game, you know, it's highly perceivable that you're going to drop it once in a while. You know, the main thing of it is, too, Gary, they're keying on Mike Harris. The defense is keying on
Oh, yeah,
Mike.
that's all we're hearing up here in the stands here. Watch that tailback. Watch 32.
And, you know, we don't have to be mind readers to know. You know, we're from London. We know what's going on. The Bexley people know what's going on also. We got a double wide out here to the right. And we're going to throw out. We got Alexander.
Uh-oh.
He didn't have anybody to throw to.
You know, the thing of it is they're splitting out the wire wide to the left, and they're covering him with 2 men, and they're not putting anybody else out there. That's the only receiver, and Jared didn't have anybody to pass it to.
Yeah, he had one receiver. Who was that? Dwyer, and he had double coverage on him. So
it's kind of surprising that they didn't have somewhat of a safety valve there.
Yeah, that's what I was
Alexander to get rid of the ball somewhere.
Just kind of hung him out there to dry, didn't they?
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. Well, at least they should have sent a few little blockers out there in front of it. Well, you got timeout Bexley with, London with 48 seconds left to go in the half. London leading 14-6, and they got the ball on their own 30-yard line. Yeah, they've still got 48 seconds left here, and 2nd down and 15. They don't have any problem. You got to flip out to Harris to the left. Mike's out in the open. You know, one thing we can give Bexley credit for, they got great pursuit. They're not letting Mike get out there without 4 or 5 guys on him.
They're doing a pretty good job in slowing Mike Harris down as far as the pursuit.
They're going to move the ball real quick here. It brings up 3rd down and 7. They got Harris up the middle. If he breaks one tackle, that was a fine drive by Mike Harris.
He broke a couple of tackles, let him see.
It looks like they're just going to let the clock run out here, fellas. Yeah. Oh, we got a timeout. I believe London might have called a timeout. Yes, timeout.
Well, I'll
London.
tell you what, to me it makes sense. If you got timeouts and you can't carry them over to the second half, then why not use it?
Well, you know, you got 4th down and 1 coming up here. You can either do two things. You can run that football yourself or punt, and maybe take the chance of Bexley muffing the ball on the punt. You got different things you can think about. You know, I've seen coaches take a timeout if they got the wind at their back or anything where they think they've got an advantage. You know, there's no problem in taking a timeout.
Well, Zeke, the wind is definitely in their face. I do believe.
You know, you got
much of a win.
The same thing we was talking about what Bexley was going to do with the football. You know, London's just got time. London can score anytime they want to. Right. One play, London can score.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him let him air this ball out a little bit.
Come out, score.
And I could be wrong.
Well, you got Alexander splitting wide out to the left, and Tyler Hamilton over in the slot, and Dwyer at tight end. Nothing fancy. One block. He cuts it back. Harris is gone.
It could be trouble.
We got a clip down here. We got a clip. You know, that call came from the back judge. He was 30 yards down the field when he threw that flag.
You trying to say we're getting homered on the calls?
You know, I know each one of these officials has a territory that they're supposed to watch, and evidently that was his area. That's the end of the first half with London ahead 14-6.
Well, before we click off here, guys, we're going to give me a quick assessment of what we've seen so far in this first half. Darby, how about you? What do you think?
Well, the first quarter, Bexley had the ball most of the first quarter, but a couple of seconds. London right now is starting to adjust a little bit more. I think when they come out the second half, you'll see the London football team that we always see come out the second half, and that's dominant.
And you, Zeke?
Well, you know, London's coming in here tonight, and they came off of a big emotional win last week. And, you know, Bexley's sitting with a 1-5 record. It's a little tough to get up for a game like this. And it's like Darby said, I look forward to second half. They'll come out, put some scores on the board, and handle this Bexley team pretty easy the second half.
Okay, and folks, hang around, don't go away. We're going to pick up the London Marching Band here. We have a pretty good view of them, so don't go away, and the commentators will be back second half.
we go. We got to kick off the second half. London receiving. Harris takes it deep, moving it right straight up the middle with the wedge.
And Andy Breen. And may I have a drum roll, please?
Let's see what we got here. Looked like Harris lost the football.
Somebody was calling for a fumble. And we still got the homecoming festivities and activities going on.
Yeah, Bexley's trying to crown the queen, and Bexley and London's playing football. Yeah, Mike Harris lost the ball there on the kickoff. They're trying to decipher right now who's got it and who doesn't have it.
I think London comes out on the winning end of this toss.
And they're still conferring. London's football.
London has the ball first and 10 on about the 32. Benny Mason on the kickoff.
And that was definitely a good call by the officials. You can tell that they've done their homework.
Well, there was Mike had already been hit and stopped when they ripped that ball out of him. Hey, London got the double wide out to the right. Now I backfield with Teal and Harris. Kahn under center. Hand off to Harris up the left side. And there he's gone. He's gone all the way. They'll never catch him. They'll never catch him.
Got a good angle by number 35.
They won't get him, Gary. Touchdown, London.
And what a fitting run for after a near possible fumble. How many yards we got there, Darby?
It's about 65, Gary. That's what you got, Zeke?
63 yards, Darby.
63?
The announcer upstairs did that calculation in his head, Darby.
No, he knew what yard line we was on.
That was just a guesstimation.
You know, that wasn't nothing fancy. That same thing they've been running the whole first half. It's just this time nobody caught up with him.
And just verifies what we were saying earlier, that you give it to your horse, the more times you give it to him, the sooner or later he's going to break one.
Well, you got Tobin on to extend his streak right down the middle. No good.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, we're sitting at an angle, but that looked good to us.
That's unusual there.
Well, you got 11 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and London is ahead 20 to 6. Excuse me.
Tobin right now, Zeke, is 24 out of 28, and that stopped his streak right there. He had 12 in a row before he missed that one.
He's going to get plenty of opportunities to start that streak over again.
His highest this year is 15.
You know, Gary, Mike had that ball going to the outside there, and it looked like two of Bexley's guys had the angle on him, and they still couldn't catch him.
I don't know what his name is. Have you got the card paperwork? But that number 35 for Bexley, from here, like we said, it looked like he had the perfect angle to catch him. And when Mike hit the end zone, he had a little two-step there and kind of just flipped right on in there. So
you know, Mike busted that one for 63 yards, and he had a couple of big ones called back in the first half. I still believe he's setting about 150 yards right now.
And another thing, the West Jeff game, people were telling me a comment was made that Mike's getting caught so many times that West Jeff should have a track team, which I agree, maybe they should have a track team. But by the same token, when you got the angle on somebody, you don't necessarily have to be as fast as they are. If you got the right angle, your chances of catching them are very good.
Tobin with the kick, he's right up the middle again. I'll tell you what, somebody needs to get on that.
Taylor's on the kickoff return to the 35-yard line.
60, here we go.
Jackson on the tackle for London.
We'll have to go back. It was number 44 that made that tackle.
Somebody stole
the whole thing here.
That was number 44 is, what are you looking for?
Roster.
It was sitting right there. Someone just took it, man.
Darby, we didn't have much of a chance to get that offense called off again. If you take a stab at this defensive alignment.
I don't know, it disappeared.
Bexley's got that motion going again. Fullback off the right side.
I'll tell you what, this Shane Roberts is having a good game tonight up the middle. He's doing his job.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Northeastern game.
Yeah.
With the big fullback up the middle, Yeah, it's just some things that London needs to address before the playoffs roll around, maybe.
Very true. Let me get to this defense real quick. The ends, 21 Teal, 81 Dwyer, tackles 59 Myers, number 76 Good, and I'll get the rest to you here in a second, Zeke.
motion, play back here to the left. That was a nice tackle in there. Let me see who's down on the bottom here.
35 and 50.
Yeah, you got Dowler and Noble. You had Noble on the low side and Dowler on the high side that time.
And the linebackers here are number 20 North, number 35 Dowler, number 46 Robinson, number 50 Noble. The backs, number 14 Kahn, number 32 Harris, number 25 Dorn, and playing defense also is number 51 Hubbard.
Had an illegal shift that time on Bexley, and London declined the penalty. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. You know, when they run that ball over to this side, they're not picking up very much yardage. They're getting the bulk of their yardage off the other side over there.
Who have we got on this side on defense?
You got Dowler over here, defensive end, outside linebacker. I don't know what you want to call him, either defensive end or outside linebacker. They're coming back this way again. You know,
Noble again.
Noble's in on all these tackles. You know, Jason's doing a real fine job getting in there underneath the lineman and making that stop pretty much close to the line.
But that's what you expect from your inside linebackers. You know, they're supposed to get, 65% of the tackles? Is that what it is?
Well, that's what you got your defensive linemen out there for, is to keep the guys off of your linebackers so the linebackers can make the tackles. Now you got a shift this time. They got Dowler to the other side of the field. Some kind of illegal participation or something again. I don't know. This guy over here, that guy on the far side over there has been calling things before the official before the play even starts. And every time it's been on Bexley, encroachment on the offense that time. Yeah, you're into the 6th game, 7th game of the year. You shouldn't be making them kind of mistakes.
That's right.
You know, the play hasn't even started yet and you're getting penalties called on you. Now they're shifting again. They got Chad Good coming over here to this side with Dowler and Teal and Dwyer to the left side of the field. Got him back to pass. Out
Beautiful
in the
pass play and not caught. The play was run perfect. The pass was there. From our angle, it looked like it was there.
It looked like it was right in his hands, Gary.
And Bexley's quarterback is getting a lot of time to throw the ball. There's a pretty good pocket there.
Oh, the first half, he had some pockets I didn't believe.
Now London's got to get some more penetration here on these pass plays. You know, Bexley's going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit to try to get back in this ball game.
I tell you what, overall, London has had the ball a lot less.
Right. Well, this is just what we said, Gary. They can score quickly. London can score quickly.
We got Harris to receive this. Oh, it's blocked
by Roger Clark. Picked up by
hurt too.
He's hurt. He caught that foot right in the chest.
Roger Clark blocked that punt, and Ty Dowler picked it up and carried it about 10 yards. I tell you what, he might be hurt, but he's not going to let you know it. He's going to go over the sidelines and get that congratulation and then go lay down someplace.
That back kick foot looked like it went right underneath his helmet, right in the chin.
You know, that's something we haven't seen all year either.
I'm going to tell you what, that was a mean block. I mean, he was cleaning on the kicker before the foot even started up.
You know, Bexley had 3 men back there in front of the kicker to stop that, and Clark just outran them all.
He's awful quick.
Well,
Go ahead.
That's what they need from their special teams. They need some positive from that special teams to get them what they need.
That's just another added dimension, fellas, of something the other teams have to watch out for.
Exactly.
That's the first block I've seen for a long time, not just London, it's anywhere, that was that clean right on top of the. He actually had the foot when the ball left his foot. The ball, they collided. He could have kicked him instead of the ball.
Right. He was in the right location to block that kick. All right, you got London back on offense, and Harris just picked up about 1.5 yards. You got Jared Alexander and DJ Jackson split wide to the left. You got Dwyer split to the right, I formation, slant pass to Jackson. Fumble. Block. He's going to go all the way.
I'll tell you what, Jackson's debut had not been best he would want it to be.
No, not good at all. You know, he got hit and stripped out there, and London really only had one guy between the guy that picked up the ball in the goal line, and that was Kahn, and he got a nice block put on him.
And that puts Bexley right back in this game, 20-12.
That was a 68-yarder on a punt, on a fumble recovery, return for a touchdown.
You know, let's don't forget, you know, it takes a while to get that feel back, and he hasn't had the ball for a while, so it's going to take some time to get that feel back.
Well, one thing we're seeing too, he's not only learning something, but I think some other people are going to learn something from this. You got timeout Bexley. Now you got Bexley on to go for 2 here for the try after the touchdown. Man in motion to the left. Harris is watching with him. Roll out to the left. Quarterback can take it in. Yeah. You know, that play right there is what I call a choice play. He ran that to the left. He had a choice of either passing to 3 receivers or taking the football in himself, and he decided to take it in himself.
Sean Noble, I did it again. Jason Noble overran the play a little bit. When he went to cut back to make the tackle, he slipped and fell down, or he had him before he got into the end zone.
You know,
Go ahead.
we were looking for some scoring in the first half. We've already had 2 touchdowns in the second half already, and we're only 4 minutes into the third quarter.
And I tell you what, for a team that's only 1-5, Bexley is very much in this game, and that extra point that we were talking about they missed, ours is looming big on us right now with a score of 20-14, 8 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Right now, a touchdown and extra point puts Bexley ahead. London needs to take that ball down the field and score touchdowns, what they need to do. It don't look like Roger got hurt much blocking that kick, because Roger and Mike's back deep for this kick. Anyway, we're sitting over here on the Bexley sideline, and I'll tell you what, the fans are fired up over here. Oh, nice kick. Nice kick.
He kicked that one clean out to the end zone.
That was
We thought we had a kicker. I see one over here too.
That was a touchback. He kicked that ball so far, Mike Harris had to go back by the fence and pick that up. Hey, London's going to take over the ball on their own 20-yard line. You know, I don't look for Dobmeyer to change up too much. You know, with Mike Harris back there and Brad Teal and Dwyer, it looks like they can do whatever they want to do. Let's hope they come out and just stay with their game plan. You got Teal at fullback, Harris at tailback, Hamilton and Alexander White out. Little fake draw.
That pass was red all the way.
They had about 4 or 5 guys in on that, and number 30 for Bexley just knocked that down, got up in Sean's face and knocked that down real nice.
Well, we're looking at a team right now that's got their confidence built up. The momentum is actually in their favor right now, and they're going to be Katie bar the door here for a while.
Right, London right now has got to go back to their running game and establish that first and move up the field and get some momentum back on their side right now.
You know, as old Keith Jackson tells us on Saturdays, it looks like the momentum's shifted and it's in a blue jersey. Harris picked up about 5 on that carry. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. You know, I realize you want to try to establish certain things and you want to try to set up a little bit of passing game and everything like that. But when you just got scored on and you're at 20-14, you better try with the things that's worked for you all year long.
Right.
Option play, Harris out here. That was just a great one-on-one tackle with 11 and 51 for Bexley. Mike needed 1 more yard to get a 1st down. It's 4th down and about 1. Looks like London's going to have to come up and punt this time.
This is only about the 2nd punt of the game for London, isn't it?
Right.
Yep.
We haven't had the ball that many times.
Oh,
Shank.
He kicked that. Oh, it's a free ball. It's a free ball. It's a free ball. You know, Gary, I think he kicked that into the back of his safety man back there.
That ball went straight up in the air.
I do believe that the back man is supposed to protect him backed into the football that time. Well, I'll tell you what, that just sets Bexley up in fine field position.
Yeah. London 29-yard line.
I tell you, momentum has shifted.
London right now just can't get a break.
Well, it's not.
This would be a big feather in their cap if they could knock off London.
It's not that they can't get a break. It's just that they're not doing what they need to be doing. You know, you can't give the ball to Bexley in this kind of field position. Motion left, straight up the middle.
And he's not giving up now.
That was a gain of about 8 yards.
Matt Stanley, that tall, lanky kid, he don't give up.
I'll tell you what, number 30 has fine speed, and he can take a hit.
On the 20.
We had Robinson in on the tackle that time. We got Dusty Hubbard back in there in the middle. We got Chad Good in there at tackle. May in there. Wide out to the left. We'll see if they put that guy in motion back his side and then run that fullback off that right side. That's what they've been doing. Yep, they're going to run him off this side. Brad Teal got underneath that play and tripped that up. And then Dwyer finished off the tackle.
That's a first down.
Need London to get stiff right now and kind of put a stop on.
We got a 1st and 10 here once again.
That ball on about the 18-yard line, I think, Gary.
Like I say, Bexley's got the momentum going their way, so
wide out to the right.
Dig in.
Motion to the left. Pass. They're going to try to pass. It's a fade out. It's a fade out. Interception. Sean Kahn. Interception.
And he's got some room.
Tuck the ball, Sean. Tuck the ball. Good job. And we got a face mask. We got a face mask on Bexley.
That could change things. That could swing it our way now.
This has been a real crazy night, and this has been a real Friday the 13th. I'll tell you.
You know, you got it Friday the 13th.
I forgot about that.
Things are happening here. You know, we've sat and watched Bexley move the ball down the field running the football, and it's the same thing I've been telling you every week, guys. It looked like these coaches want to lose the way he should have never threw that pass. The way those boys are running that football, he should never throw that pass.
Now, Zeke.
Well,
be nice.
I'm not criticizing London's coaches this time, fellas.
Don't criticize anybody. Be nice. You know I'm going to fuss with you.
It's hard for me to understand that. You know, I'm from the old school, Gary. 3 yards in a cloud of dust is fine with me.
Yeah, well, it very easily could have went the other way.
You know,
So
I'm the type of guy that likes to pass, but if you don't have to, why do it? You're only down 6 points, Gary. All right, we got that I formation with Teal in the backfield and Harris a tailback. He's back to running Harris outside.
And here he comes. Here he comes.
He's out here to the right. One cut.
A good cut.
Oh my! Beautiful run. Beautiful run.
Mike Harris, when he looks like he's done, he goes another 10 yards there, Zeke.
You know, Darby, it looks like he adds something every week. He's got a different move that he puts in there every week.
Well, see, that's when I showed him last week. That one there he made. I showed him that in practice. A quick stop and go thing, you know.
Yeah, anyhow, it's first part of the year, his big move was the spin. And then about halfway through it was the cut. Now he's got this, he put in the stop and then go.
I tell you, Mike got caught from behind that time, shook the man, and went right on by him. Fullback off the left side.
Brad Teal, he's got a hold.
Hold on to the ball, Brad. I'll tell you what, it took 9 Bexley players to bring him down that time.
And while I got a second, I want to give a special thanks to Gene Millard for making the accommodations for us to do this over here. All I did was make a phone call, and Gene said, come on, we'll have you set up wherever you need, you got it. So thanks a lot, Gene, for making it possible for us to do this game tonight.
Well, they Brad Teal picked up enough for a first down, guys. That's going to give London first down on Bexley's 21-yard line. Harris off the right side. Mike's just turning on the speed. Number 14 for Bexley made a nice ankle tackle that time. We got a gain of about 7 yards.
And I think a little of this tonight, it's like you said, it's Friday the 13th. We've made a few changes. We've been using DJ in different situations, and DJ's just new. It's his first game of the season after, practicing for 6 games and then all the preseason practice. So they put in some plays for him. Things just a little bit different. We're just starting to get down to business now. I'm going to take over this game.
You got Buffalo package in. Brad Teal or Brad Rutherford and Teal in the backfield, leading Harris.
I didn't see what happened there.
Well, I believe they blew the whistle and Bexley didn't stop. That's okay. We're used to this, guys. We get it every week.
How much time we got, Carl? You couldn't hear me.
You got Tyler Hamilton wide out to the left. You still got that Buffalo package. You got a strong left eye. Harris off the left side.
And that's a first.
And that was pretty. That's the kind of football I'm talking about, Gary, that smash mouth football.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't disagree with the call. I disagree with the turnout of the call the Bexley coach made, but I didn't disagree with the call. The turnout was what killed him, but hey, it was there.
Kind of looked like that commercial on TV. You want a guy to do one thing, and then when it goes bad, you want him to do the other thing. All right, you got Brad Rutherford in that Buffalo move. You got a handoff to Harris right up the middle. Fumble.
They got another fumble.
Got a fumble.
London has turned the ball over a lot this game.
This Friday the 13th has been a really killer for
That's got to be the 4th or 5th turnover by London tonight.
What they're doing is they're trying to take that football away from Mike. They're reaching in and grabbing for the football. Line. London had a chance to score. You got 20-14 with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Handoff off the right side.
And good stuff.
Tackle by Dowler.
Oh!
Noble. I think we're going to have a little extracurricular activity here, fellas.
Well, London right now has been really, in the second half, has been really shooting themselves in the foot.
Personal foul, London. WLHS.
WLHS, huh? We're getting the feedback from all right in the stand. They're trying to get their voices in here too.
Yeah, we got a personal foul on London. That's going to give Bexley 15 yards and a first down. That gives Bexley the ball on their own 29-yard line. Bexley's got that I formation with a split out here to the left, motion to the right. Now they're back to that number 30 up the middle.
Another good stuff. London's pretty well cleaning out that hole there that they've been running up through.
You got Noble getting up off that pile, and Dusty Hubbard getting up off that pile, and also looked like Ty Dowler was in on that. Well, you know the thing of it is, Bexley moved the ball down the field real well the last time they had it. They got it down inside the 20 and thought they had to pass. Now they're back clear down to the other end of the field, and they're running that ball again. We're going to bring up 2nd down and 9. We got Kahn out here shadowing his own number, 14. We got a man in motion. Alexander's picking up the motion man. We got a roll right, a pass in the flats. You know, that was that choice play that they rolled out there and scored the extra point on is what that was. Only this time he hit the short man.
Cut them holes off, and so they're going to try to throw the football when they do that.
Right. They need to pass. They need to pass and set up the run is what they need to do. Oh, that was fine.
We got
another flag.
Where that flag came in at must be holding, guys, because that was in on top of the pile. You had Noble in underneath there, and Myers in on that stop. Yeah, we got that hold, fellas.
Holding call against Bexley.
For Bexley here on their own 35-yard line. Excuse me, their own 31-yard line. You had a quarterback keeper that time with no yardage gained at all.
London right now, they're starting to shut down that running offense of Bexley. They have to start throwing their short passes every now and then to break that up.
You're into the end of the third quarter here, about ready to get in. And, you know, if you haven't figured out the running game by now, you're in a world of trouble. Okay, it's the end of the fourth quarter. London 20, Bexley 14.
Score the baseball game.
2-1. Seattle. Seattle's up 2-1.
You know, one thing about these officials, they don't wait for the announcers to get done. They just start.
Get out there, Nobes.
That was a stop by Dowler and Hubbard and Good that time. That fullback just kept them knees running. It took all three of those guys to bring him down.
And one thing about him, go ahead, I'm sorry.
They need somebody to get a good hat on him and hit him hard and get him low and knock him off them feet, because that's a big boy.
Oh, you're talking about a fullback going about 230 pounds there, I believe.
I looked at the book and it said 190.
Well, I'll tell you
I think that's off.
I wish I weighed on that scale.
6'2", 190.
Yeah, it's going to bring up third down in about 20 here. Got that motion coming back towards the quarterback this time, which usually means he's going to roll that way. Fullback up the middle. I'll tell you what.
That was a good tackle there by Noble.
That was Dusty Hubbard got that tackle. Dusty Hubbard and Noble both was in on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was beautiful, Derby. That didn't fake anybody out.
But
So
again,
what was beautiful about it?
That was a good tackle. He got him low and
Beautiful
put him down.
defense, Gary. Beautiful defense.
Don't you got somewhere to be, Gary?
I've already been there. You know I'm going to ride you guys. I don't get a chance to.
Hey, now, guys, we got this punt again by Bexley and nobody back. You know, I don't know if Coach wised up or what here.
Good kick, Matt.
Now it's a beautiful kick. Beautiful kick.
Oh, and a big roll back for Bexley.
Got a beautiful roll there. I was going to say he's going to get really good field position, but that roll kind of killed him.
That was a nice kick. London's going to take over on their own 23. You know, the thing of it is, though, London just needs to put a sustained drive alive, run the time off the clock, and score a touchdown.
Exactly. The way Bexley, when they do move the football, it's been very slow. If they can take about 4 or 5 minutes off this clock and put one in, this game's pretty much over.
And we definitely need a score, that's for sure.
Championship got here, Wood.
Well, we got Teal in the backfield with Harris at the I-back formation. Double wide out here to the left, Kahn under center. He's giving it to Harris off the right side, up the middle.
There he goes.
Nice cut. One man to beat. He's outside. They got the angle on him. He just puts his head down.
Good overfield tackle there.
You know, that was good sportsmanship there. Number 30 brought Mike down. Mike helped number 30 up. But guess what? Mike gained 35 yards on that carry.
So you're looking at 32 number and 30 tackle and 35 yards.
Yeah.
That was good, Zeke. And you got somewhere to beat, Darby.
That's going to give
cutting time.
That's going to give
Gary's still mad because they wouldn't honor his Buckeye card over there as a concession stand.
I know.
London's ball on Bexley's 47. Brad Teal straight up the middle.
Good run. That was a good. Ooh.
It looks like almost a slight delay on that play. Does that look like that to you?
Well, you know the thing of it is you're used to seeing Mike take off with the ball. Brad's just a touch slower. See, Mike's doing what he's supposed to do. Or, excuse me, Brad's doing what he's supposed to do. Pick up that 5 yards and move the sticks. That's what we need Brad Teal to do.
Brad Teal actually should only be averaging about 3.5, and I don't know what his average is, but I know it's a lot more than that.
Got Harris off the left side. You know, Mike's starting to read the holes real well now. He's starting to see the holes, and he's picking his holes. That was a good run for only of about 3 yards, but, you know, he looked and saw where the hole was. Third down and about 3 on the Bexley 40-yard line. You know, I don't look for London to punt, even if they don't make it this time, being on the other side of the 50. They got an awful wide split out here to the left, London does. We got encroachment.
I didn't think we was going to get the call there for a second.
You know, in high school ball, all you got to do is break that plane, and it's encroachment.
It's encroachment, yeah.
You know, in pro ball, you got to touch the offensive player before it's a penalty. You know, I don't know how many times they've called that against Bexley tonight, but I'm sure it's been a half a dozen at least.
Carl, let me know when we get down to about 15 minutes.
So it gives London first down on the 34-yard line. You got Kahn with a keeper.
Oh. That was a good defensive play there by Bexley.
You know, I think that was a quarterback option, keeper all the way, because Mike didn't even move. I don't know if Mike wasn't thinking, but Mike didn't even move.
Well, they read that. Defense read that play perfect. And we still got a 2nd and 10. The score 20-14, 8 minutes left in the final quarter.
Got North split out wide to the left and Alexander wide to the right. Harris up the middle.
He's got, what, about 8 or 9 on there, Zeke?
You know, I noticed number 74, Brad Rutherford, back here, had his man on his back, which we usually call a little pancake action there by the lineman. That looked rather well. Now this is time for the big boys to just start moving London on up the field.
That's right.
A little movement there. Harris off the right side. That was a nice one-hand tackle by number 11.
And don't think you got the first down.
It's according to where they spot that at, Gary. It's awful close. It's going to bring up 4th down and about a foot. Yep, 4th down about a foot.
Now we run the quarterback sneak. What do you guys think? You make the call.
Either that or Brad Teal.
Well, we'll see here in a second. Gary, it was right on. And he not only got that half a yard, he picked up about 4 yards.
Well, I let 2 or 3 people handle the ball when you can let one go ahead and do it, get that yard or 2.
You're sitting there and you got a center in there going about 228, Gary.
Who is that center? You know who the center is?
Myers at center.
228.
You know, I'd be happy to follow somebody 228 around. Oh no, fumble.
We got it. Looks like it's going the other way.
And again, Zeke, they just shot themselves in the foot again. That looked like a little mishandling there from the center to the quarterback.
You know, it looked like 26 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. London's going to have to put a defensive stop on. Pass out Harris. Got a roll here to the left, quarterback keep. Nice one-hand tackle by Noble.
That's Jason Noble.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of good sportsmanlike conduct now. I see a lot of these kids are getting tackled. The tacklers are picking people up. The ball carriers are picking people up. And I really like to see that in high school because, like you say, it's only a game, supposedly.
Well, we've been used to in the last few weeks of seeing some unsportsmanlike conduct from some other schools. This is refreshing. Brings up second down and about 6. Bexley splitting a wide guy to the right. A motion coming to the right. I look for a roll to the right or a crossbuck back. No, it's just that quarterback keep. And I'm a little lack of thought here on what they're trying to do, being down 1 touchdown and running the quarterback up the middle. You know, they need to move that ball down the field, not move it in the middle.
Unless they're trying some way to set up some other play. That's the only thing.
They're setting up something. They got a 3rd and 3. They got to get that first down right now.
Well, I don't look for anything fancy but that big number 33 to handle this ball. Motion to the right, which usually means hand back to that fullback.
I believe you got it.
No. They gave the ball to the up back that time, the tailback, number 30. Yeah, number 30 had that ball that time.
He went far enough to move the chain.
There we go. That's all they want to do is keep control of that football. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the quarter, and they've got plenty of time to run the football down the field and score.
And I'm not really comfortable with this 20-14 score either.
No, I don't think anybody should be comfortable with a 20-14 score. You got Alexander and Kahn out here split on the wide men, and knocked down by Dwyer.
You know, Zeke, well, Darby, we've seen a lot of football played tonight between the 5 and 10 yard lines.
We've seen just about everything tonight. We've seen fumbles, we've seen good returns, we've seen bad returns, we've seen kick punt blocked. I'm sorry, I couldn't spit that one out.
Kicked in the back of one of the players.
We've seen blocked.
Fumble picked up, run 70 yards for a touchdown.
Friday the 13th's got something to do with this?
Blocked passes. You name it, we've seen it tonight. This has been a whole night of football.
Rain's trying to set in also. 4 minutes left.
4 minutes left to go in the quarter, and it's starting to rain. Okay, they're in a split out to the left, motion here to the right. They're going to run that ball up the middle.
He's got some running room.
You got Pete Robinson on the initial hit, and then Mike Harris come in and finished it off. You know, you got almost 4 minutes here remaining. You got plenty of time to score. They're running that motion outside. This is going to be a pass. Quarterback keep.
Good tackle.
I tell you, Noble made a nice shoestring tackle there. Only a gain of about a yard. That's what they need to do, Darby. Somebody's got to step up here and make some defensive plays.
Right. They need to stop him right here and just sit it down, get him to 4th and out, get the ball back and kill this clock.
Got a timeout, Bexley. Okay, we got Bexley moving up the line. It's 2nd down and 8 with the ball setting at about their own 49-yard line. You got a sweep out here, a little holding out here. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 2. And that is a very wise move. Bexley has a guy split over here to the short side of the field. Motion out that way. They're going to run fullback up the middle. Noble in underneath there. And Dusty Hubbard in there for the tackle.
Looks like Bexley got enough for the first down.
Yeah. That's cool.
60 now, right?
Well, Zeke, if this is going to be a 4th down, this is going to be a big 4th down play right here.
40 and doing it with the outside lineman.
As you could tell by the cheer, first down Bexley.
Do that or get somebody out of bounds.
They're got a motion wide out to the left. Yeah, he's dropping back. He's going to throw in the middle. Just off the hands of the receiver. Pete Robinson had one-on-one coverage that time and was right in front of the receiver. But that was a nice defensive play.
Beautiful. You know, Zeke, it looked like he had a man down the middle that was wide open there for a minute that he could have had there for about 20 yards.
You know, the thing of it is, Darby, I think he locked in on that one receiver, and that's all he saw at the time. You know, your high school team here, a lot of these quarterbacks don't know how to change off when their initial receiver's covered. You got 1:55 left to go. Bexley under the ball, 3rd down and about 8. Motion to the left. He's rolling left. London needs to get a rush this time.
Oh.
That was just a bad pass. That was a real bad pass there. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8, and I know Bexley's going to go for it.
This is going to be a big one, Zeke. Now, it's...
Bexley's back and leads. All right. It's 4th down and about 8 here. London's got to put this defensive stop on. Motion to the left. You got to roll to the left. You got to get out there on him. He throws it out. Incomplete. Incomplete. The pass was just a little too far for him to get his hands on. You know, Darby, I think if he'd have caught that, he'd been out of bounds.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the hold that we needed. And evidently the Bexley fans think it's the hold they needed because they're leaving.
I tell you what, for a 1-5 team, Bexley has fought and fought and fought. London's got to go back to the drawing board here and find out what's the problem. Of course, I'm going to blame it on Friday the 13th. I'm not blaming it on anybody but Friday the 13th.
With 1:42 left, this is pretty much done. They just need to watch those handoffs. They've had a lot of fumbles tonight.
You know, it's the thing, but it's mental mistakes. It's not concentrating. 1:42 left to go in the 4th quarter. London's taking over the ball on their own 36-yard line. I don't look for anything fancy, just some straight handoffs. Harris off the right side. He might have lost a yard that time, Darby.
Main thing we got to do is keep that clock running.
I don't think Bexley has any timeouts left, Gary. I think they've used them all. London just needs to pick up some yardage, but they also need to kill the clock.
Yep.
Next play is good outside.
They'd take their time, come up to the line of scrimmage, kill that clock as much as possible.
Well, you got Harris tailback and Teal there at fullback. Straight handoff to Harris. Got another stop. Harris gain of about a yard there.
Bexley ain't got nothing to be ashamed of, I'll tell you that.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They fought a heads-up ball game.
They've put up a gallant effort tonight against London. No, it's just a case of Bexley not picking up that newspaper and reading it and letting all that stuff worry them. They've come out here and played basic football and stayed in this ball game.
You got that right.
It's 3rd down and 9. I don't look for him to do anything like pass, but maybe I'm wrong.
As usual. I think they're just running out the clock.
Yeah, he was rolling it out.
You have a unnecessary roughness call on Bexley, which is going to give London a 1st down. Kahn kneeled down over there, and he got drilled. And the officials threw the flag. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and 1st down for London, and that was the worst thing Bexley could have done.
14 seconds ago, 20-14 London. Looks like it could end up that way. I hope you guys have had a good time tonight. I have. This Friday the 13th, I'm scared to drive home now. Everything's been going. I hope all the bad stuff's happened out there on the field.
Yep.
You know, this is one of those games, though, that London came off of a big game, which they won real nice and handily. And they got a letdown because going into next week's going to be a tough ball game. You know, it happens to good teams all the time. They kind of overlook a team that they shouldn't.
Exactly.
I think we beat ourselves in certain situations. A lot of fumbles.
That's the ball game. London 20, Bexley 14.
Carl, can you get the scoreboard? Just swing it slow when you get a chance. I'll leave you on.
Zeke, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of glad this one's over when it's over.
Well, that clock couldn't run fast enough for the old Zeke. You know, it was a great, hard-fought battle by Bexley, and London showed that you know, they do have flaws in their team, and that they do have to work on some things.
Right.
What did he say?
Yeah, Coach, I believe that.
What did he say?
Coach just told us they had one toe, they didn't shoot.
Okay, and as for Gary McNeil,
Darby Calhoun,
and Dave the Zeke Caldwell,
we're saying good night. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Take us home, Carl.
Go London.
Hi, Owen. How are you?
That's kind of one of them ones where, why did I drive all the way over here?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, for me, it was a little shorter way.